And we're back in the Forgotten City. We've got a couple patrons here at the bar that we wanted to interview. We've talked with a couple of them, but we're still sort of in our fact-finding stage of the mission, trying to understand what everybody wants, and that will allow us to understand... Oh, she's a Malleolus supporter. That will help us understand
Whatever's in that great temple up there on the bluff,
who might be inclined to sin. Let's talk with him.
Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius.
I like his voice.
Terrible shame what happened to Yulia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
Yeah, so you sell some of the medicine that we could realistically
Certainly.
use.
All I ask is a reasonable price of 1,000 denarii.
Yeah, reasonable.
Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Take it or leave it.
Huh. The statues want me to take it.
Hear what?
You wouldn't understand.
You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navia on our hands.
She's the one that went to the palace, right? Looking for the source of the whispers.
She claimed the statues were whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and we never heard from her again. But I digress. Do you want this Silphium or not?
I mean, I want it, but, it's a little steep for me.
That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work hard and save your coins, you should be able to afford it within, say, 5 years?
Yeah, and he says that because a denarius, which is the singular of denarii, in Roman culture was the payment for a day's wages. So, yeah, 5 years, that sounds pretty reasonable after spending some of it on ourselves for living expenses. We're not gonna threaten him, I don't think, but that's out of our price range.
Very well. Perhaps I can interest you in something within your budget?
Yeah, maybe.
You mean, how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Well, I've got the time.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave. Fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named Acantha, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done.
You took the stuff, didn't you? You chose the cart, clearly.
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money.
How did I
put
know?
my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
Good for her. And so that freed up a spot for her, right?
No, I dived in after it, of course. I
Oh
didn't
my
pay
gosh.
attention. That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something because everything went black. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank not far from here with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Yeah, just desserts.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back, and this place is a veritable treasure trove.
Oh, he's not even a little
Look
bit sorry.
around you, there must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Speaking of which...
I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust
You mean the
her.
tavern that we're in right
Some
now?
people here are a little shady for my liking.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got your back though.
Thank you, I really appreciate it. The golden rule, I mean, he's like the scummiest that we've encountered so far, but he finds a way to skirt the line, huh?
It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow. Just a simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Yeah, didn't everybody have to throw their weapons down a chasm?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
Or we can make one. Maybe. I'm not going to say no.
Thank you, friend.
Okay. You seem like a Malleolus type of voter.
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
Seems to be a theme. Could I convince you otherwise?
Not going to happen.
Alright, fair enough.
Very well. Another time.
Alright. Lararium. Small household shrine where ancient Romans offered daily prayers for protection to the household gods, often kind of associated with like ancestors and such. Training dummy. Looks like Domitius has been using this to train. I wonder what he's been training for. Well, he is a gladiator. I wouldn't be surprised if we had to fight him at some point in some sort of impromptu match. He watches through their eyes. Oh, yeah. Well, that makes sense. So what that means to me is that there's a god who is in charge of all of this. Apparently it's a he, and he uses the statue to keep an eye on everybody. So as long as you do stuff that's outside of their sight path, then you should be okay. Alright, a dice tower. A metal dice tower designed to stop people from cheating when rolling dice. Clearly, cheating must be a problem among the Romans. Let's listen in here real quick.
How'd you do?
What if she's out there somewhere suffering, waiting to be found?
Sounds like you're torturing yourself. Leave that for the gods. Try to relax, get some rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
I suppose you're right.
Yeah, they really, he really clings to that stoic philosophy of just not worrying about things you can control. Don't let your emotions get the better of you. The dice tower. I know a lot of people use these in D&D for rolling. I guess it just goes to show that it's as old as the ancient Romans. Alright, what do we have here? Theophilus. That's, Theophilus had an orgy with 4 girls here and disappointed all of them equally. I'm so sorry, Theophilus. But now it's history. There's no way of getting around it. Domitius' chest. So we could take the money. But I feel like we need to pump the brakes on stealing just in case. Gladiator's shield. Looks like Domitius was carrying his shield with him when he arrived in the city. Alright, what else is going on back here? Ooh, secret passage. This is interesting. Some empty crates. Where does this lead to? Well, we'll just explore. We'll just see where this goes. Anything behind the waterfall? No. It's worth a shot. This is a nice little, oh, look at that. Somebody, there in the water. That's crazy. This is an interesting little pool here. Is there something in the water? We can swim, right? So we may as well check it out. Oh, there is something here. Ah, I'll take that. Alright, well, now we have more than 0, which is what we had before. What is this? The butterflies usually lead us in some sort of direction. Can we climb up here? I see there's a chest up top. I feel like that would be useful. Alright. Maybe. feel like there must be a way to get up on this platform. Huh. Alright, well I don't see it at the moment. I would love to get that chest if I can. Let's see if there's any other things down here. Is there a way to go underneath it, maybe? No, not quite. I'm not sure what the butterflies are trying to tell us. But, okay, well, we know this is here. We can always come back if we want to and take another look. Alright, so, the next order of business. I would say continue to find more people to interview. Yep, this is where we came with our friend before, Galerius. Let's go ahead and keep going on with whatever the suggested quest is. And see what people have to say.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land. Greetings, I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, you and I. And I must say, my sartorial friend, your clothing is most extraordinary. Leather boots in place of sandals,
Yeah.
trousers with precise stitching, and such a curious
Can I sell it to you for 1,000 denarii?
Distant trade routes from the markets of Damascus to the farms of India. And never have I seen anyone dressed quite like you. Tell me, I must know, from which exotic part of the world do you hail?
That's a great question. I don't know what nationality we're supposed to be. My nation doesn't exist yet. I'm from beyond the edge of the known world. Yeah, let's go with something he could maybe understand.
Then you are an explorer, like me. Wonderful. You must have many stories to share. I cannot wait to hear them. We will have much time here to get to know one another. But for now, do you require assistance? I know you do not require clothing, so information perhaps?
Oh, absolutely. Well, let's get your backstory.
My story? How kind of you to ask. I am a tailor and I run the humble shop in the forum.
I guess everybody needs clothes no matter where they are, right?
You mean to say, with all the turmoil and terror of the Golden Rule and so few customers, why bother setting shop at all?
I mean, yeah.
I'll tell you, it is precisely because of the Golden Rule that I wish to remind my friends of the importance of looking one's best. I say, the more of our customs we preserve down here, the more we can preserve a semblance of normality, the better our chances of keeping our heads. Don't you agree?
Yeah. Look good, feel good, right?
Oh, and there is another reason too. If we all end up as golden statues for future generations to marvel at, I don't know about you, but I would like to look my best.
That's right, preserve it for posterity.
A good question. A very good question indeed. And I would be happy to tell you if only I could remember it clearly myself.
What, you have, like amnesia? Why don't you tell me what you do remember?
I remember I had just been to Rome to sell an extraordinary selection of wares, and drowning in coin, I decided to celebrate my success. I rented a prestigious villa by the Tiber, invited over a few select friends, and we began making our way through some of the most exquisite wine money could buy. Quite a lot of it, in fact. Now, I have had visions and awoken in strange places before. I have even found myself naked in the desert sands more than once, but none of that compares to...
Sounds like a fun Friday
This
night to me.
time, I remember people screaming, then falling into a void as empty as time before creation, gasping for air, and then nothing. When I regained my faculties, I was lying naked by the banks of the Tiber, gods know how many miles from my villa.
Sounds like you partied too hard.
Of course, of course. In any case, it seems I'd been rescued and resuscitated by a benevolent stranger. I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am.
Fair enough.
Anything you like. Shh! Not so loud. What are you playing at?
What, are we not supposed to ask if we can get out of here?
Have you not been told about the last attempt?
No, lay it on me.
Oh, then I suppose this duty falls to me. Ah, it is a long story.
Should be good. Yeah, I've got the time.
Aha, you are witty. I like that. Of course, the first question any of us asks when we first arrive is, how do I escape? It is only natural after all.
Make sure you stay away
And
from
scaling the
empty
chasm
shrine.
wall is
It's
out of
going
the
to
question,
collapse at any
for it
moment.
is simply too steep and too far. But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the shaft above the bathhouse. See, the shaft is quite high, but if one gathered up enough wood, one could make a series of ladders and climb one's way out.
That's true. And yeah, what's stopping people?
They have. I am getting to that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
There was an attempt made by resourceful fellows who lived here some years ago. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city, and that, tragically, is where their tale ends. So it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of whichever god oversees this place.
Oh, interesting.
And so I say, it is best to not even discuss it aloud.
So were they turned to gold? Or did they just abandon their attempt? Because I thought the deal was if one person messes up, then everybody gets turned to gold. But seeing as you haven't been, I guess they must have survived, right?
Ah, yes. The many shall suffer for the sins of the one. As a Greek, this is nothing new to me. It
Oh,
is
Greece.
how our gods operate.
Well, the Romans basically stole your pantheon of gods, so you've got to be pretty familiar with it.
Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this dreadful lesson when he abducted Persephone and imprisoned her in the underworld. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Instead, she changed the climate of Earth so that it became hot and dry. Nothing grew. The grain turned to empty husks and the rivers dried up. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last the other gods were forced to act, lest they have no worshippers left. So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The Golden Rule has merely brought it into focus.
It's interesting that because he's Greek, he's actually using the Greek names for the gods versus the Roman ones. I think that's a nice touch.
If we are to survive, I say we must each heed the simple wisdom of Thales of Miletus, first of the 7 sages of Greece, who said, "Avoid doing what you would blame others for doing."
Yeah, that's easier said than done for sure.
Regrettably, I think you are correct, my friend. For even if 99% of us adopt this principle, that will never be enough. Sadly, no matter how well we protect ourselves, the life's work of many good people can be undone in the blink of an eye by a single selfish act.
Yeah, I've lived it.
Ah, the voice of experience. I am sorry for your loss, my friend. But on a lighter note, I will say one thing for the Golden Rule. For all their grim and haunting poses, these golden statues do make magnificent models for my clothing, do they not?
Can't argue with that. Yeah, in case you didn't know, Pluto is the Roman name for Hades. So the fact that he used, the term Hades and Persephone instead of Pluto and Proserpina, again, that shows that he's a true Greek. And we're happy to have him. Now, how about the election? He seems like an old school kind of guy for Sentius.
That, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some reflection, I'm leaning toward voting for Malleolus.
Oh, interesting.
I do not enjoy the thought of another visit from Domitius if I voted the wrong
Oh,
way.
no. Are they strong-arming you?
Nothing comes to my mind, my friend.
Okay, fair enough.
I hope that our paths cross again soon, my friend.
Huh, he's a fun guy. I like talking to him. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna check out your house. And got a number of dyes here for clothing. Dyes for dyes for coloring clothing. These appear to been extracted from plants and insects. So one thing I know is that the purple dye is extremely rare because there's a certain type of oyster or clam, I can't recall the exact animal, but it takes crushing up quite a few of those to create even a little bit of purple dye. So that's why purple is associated with royalty, because only the rich could afford purple coloring, which is kind of interesting, because that still remains, even to this day, in a lot of Western royalty-based cultures and traditions. George's test. He's got some money in there. I would never steal from George's. He's too sweet of a guy. He's got his own little stash of statues in here. Interesting. Alright, who else can we talk to? Let's check out this back room. Guess this is a blacksmith? A Roman fire shovel made of bronze. It smells like ash, as one might expect. Broken chair. Virgil is the blacksmith, I guess. An accusatory note. I would like to read some of these, but I don't think I can... Oh, here we go. Here's another accusatory note. Virgil, I know who you are and what you want. Turn away from this path before we all suffer for your sins. A note insinuating that Virgil is a sinner. Interesting. Huh. Is this another one? Virgil, do you really want to be responsible for the sin that destroys us all? I would like to talk to Virgil. Who's leaving him that note? What has he done? Is he around? Well, let's talk to the people here in the square. Is there anybody left? Got various pots for sale. Some bread. Looks delicious. I think these have olive oil in them, I want to say. Silphium Resin. He listens with their ears. A bottle of Silphium Resin, an extremely valuable ancient Roman remedy for various afflictions. No, I'm not gonna steal it, because I feel like that statue right here is watching me. And that's gonna reset the timeline, and I'm not quite ready for it to be reset yet. Alright, who else is around? There's another Lararium. A shopping list. A list of things Decius plans to buy once he's escaped. Things to buy once I've escaped. Villa on the Aventine, Rome. The Aventine is one of the 7 hills that Rome is built on. 2-horse chariot, seat on the Senate, 4-horse chariot, villa on the Bay of Naples, 10-horse chariot, 12 slave girls, pale and plump. Yeah, that sounds like Decius, all right. Kind of a scumbag. All right, what else do we have here? Got some herbs. Not much here to take a look at, is there? I guess it's almost night, so people are maybe sleeping, or... Oh, hello.
Hello? Hello?
What's your name?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
Huh. Well, it must not have been anything too bad, because we're still here.
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
And you were taking someone else's treasure?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Go on.
They said I did it more than once. But I can't remember things so good.
Oh, I feel bad for this guy.
They called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
A liability? Yeah.
They said I have to live here now, and gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words.
Oh.
Do you think you could read it for me?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel really bad for this guy. He seems like, oops.
What does it say?
Oh no, I didn't mean to do that. It says they caught you trespassing several times and they locked you up to stop you from breaking the golden rule. It was a misclick.
My treasure.
What are you talking
My friend
about?
Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said, if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find it. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they
Excuse
put
me.
me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And
Equidia?
the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Well, I mean, I could try to find it for you if you're okay with that.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Okay. Let's see if I can advocate for you.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Huh. So we could get somebody else elected, but I feel like the new guy wouldn't be any better than the old guy. Or I could just try to break you out, but then would that be considered a sin?
What about the rules? I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
Like Galerius.
Oh.
He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll.
Yeah.
And everything. If you help make him magistrate,
I like that a lot.
he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure. Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Okay. I will add it to my list. Figure out how to get into the upper cistern. I don't suppose you have any idea of escaping, huh?
You're going to let me out of here?
No,
Really?
no, that's not what I meant. I mean, yeah.
Please. I hate it here. It makes me very
Yeah,
sad.
I know, buddy. I'm working on it. I just meant, yeah, never mind. What about the golden rule?
No. You mean treasure?
No, I mean like the rule that, whatever. Let's maybe talk about the treasure, I
My
guess.
friend Hannibal used to look.
Oh no, we already heard
He
this.
said he gave me this. All I now know, but
Yeah, okay. I think we've finished any meaningful conversation here.
bye bye.
Alright, buddy. Oh, I feel so bad for him. I feel terrible. Whoops.
Hello. Have we met
Yeah.
before?
Don't you... Wait, don't you remember?
Bye bye.
I guess not. I guess he said he had a pretty bad memory. Fair enough. Alright, let's see. I guess we'll keep on exploring. I really like the idea of Galerius
You have to do something.
running for magistrate.
A man arrived in the baths. Real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon.
Oh,
You have to do something.
Okay.
Or he's gonna break the golden rule.
I mean, I'm not I can't stop a guy with a weapon.
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the
Oh,
city.
and we need a bow, don't
Just
we?
have to improvise.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'll see what well, actually, priority number 1. We'll do it.
Thank you. He's still in there. Somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
The whisper is no. Don't go in there.
What? Why?
Because I heard a voice. Just, yeah, listen to me.
All right. Right, fine. Come and find me in my bakery instead. Please be careful.
And your name?
Fabia, but now's not the time.
Alright, fine, fair enough. Okay, let's go into the baths straight away. There's a guy with a gun, or a bow, I guess in this case. That's gotta be bad news. Oh, hi there.
Stop right there. I'm looking.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Wait, what?
Yes. Do you know where he is?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure I believe that, so allow me to explain something to you. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself to find and execute the cultist Quintius for terrible crimes against the Empire. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow you to live.
Okay.
But if you lie to me or otherwise obstruct the Emperor's business in any way, I will put this arrow through your chest.
I mean, Emperor Nero, famously a bad guy.
You are not off to a good start. When I ask you a question, I expect an answer. Is that understood?
Yes, yes, I understand.
Thank you. Now tell me, who are you people, and what is this place?
We're just a small community of strangers who wound up here by accident. Let's just be straightforward.
A small community. Ha! I was told Quintius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me right to the heart of his mystery cult.
I'm not sure what you mean. What's a mystery cult?
Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, Magna Mater, or Christ. You lot are all the same to me.
Yeah.
Always sneaking off to your secret sanctuaries, indoctrinating each other with your little mantras. The Emperor may have tolerated your activities up until now, but after what Quintius did, those days are numbered.
Which was what? What did he do? Yeah, I know Nero, of course, like many Roman emperors, or most of them, declared himself a god, and so was not super tolerant of any other religions or beliefs, I guess.
You say that, but if you're not a cult, then why go to such great lengths to keep this place a secret?
The gods did it. I'm still looking for a way out. We're not keeping it a secret. We're all trapped in here. That's true.
So you admit you're not allowed to leave?
Yeah, by the gods. We can leave if we want. Well, yes. It's not that we're not allowed to leave. It's we physically can't leave. There's no way out.
Threatening me is not going to help you. But in any case,
I'm not threatening you.
That sounds an awful lot like a cult to me.
I mean, how do you propose to get
I
out?
saw the inscription saying, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." I take it this is some kind of mantra you all believe?
It's a warning from the gods.
A distinction without a difference. You've clearly been indoctrinated into this nonsense. Now tell me, where did you lot get enough gold to make all these statues?
There were once people who were turned to gold as punishment.
You lot are practicing human sacrifice too.
No, not by us.
Disgust me.
By the gods. We didn't turn them to gold. A god did it, and we don't know which one.
Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do, isn't it? Our god told us to do it.
No,
It's all clear.
you're
to
not
me
listening.
now. The secret sanctuary, the indoctrination, the mantra, the human sacrifice. You're cultists. There's no doubt in my mind. What baffles me is how a person can believe in something with such zeal. They just can't see what they've become.
That's ironic,
However,
coming
still
from you.
have a chance to redeem yourself
Okay.
by telling me where Quintius is.
I don't know who
Do
that
not
is.
waste it.
I have no idea who or where he is. What can you tell me about Quintius? What's going to take it for you to let this go? I wouldn't help you. I have a feel like the timeline is about to be reset, so let's try to learn about Quintius.
Very well. Here's what I know. He's a 40 to 50-year-old man with distinctive eyes, one green and one blue. He's also known to have delusions of grandeur. The Emperor says he and his cult, your cult, are responsible for starting the fire which burnt half of Rome to the ground and killed thousands in the process.
That's funny that he says that because Nero famously set Rome on fire. I want to say it was like 64 AD. Basically, he wanted to build he had some big plans for designs of buildings in Rome, and he needed to get a lot of the infrastructure. So he set the fire, and legend says that he, famously played the fiddle as Rome burned. But then, of course, afterwards blamed the many different other religions and cults and such, Christianity, of course, being one of them, for starting the fire, and that's kind of how he consolidated power. Perhaps the Emperor was looking for a scapegoat. I mean, that's true, but this guy's not going to like it that we said that, but let's go with it anyway.
Who are you to challenge what the Emperor says? Were you there? Do you have spies and scouts all over Rome, like he does? No, you do not.
Well, fair enough.
This is your last chance.
Okay.
Are you going to tell me where he is or not?
What if I legitimately don't know him? I have no idea who or where he is.
Then you're of no use to me.
Okay.
Do you have any last words?
I'll see you on the other side. You said you wouldn't kill me if I told you the truth. Jesus Christ, you're an idiot. If you fire that arrow, everyone here is going to die. You have no idea what you're in for. Let's appeal to his honor.
And there's a simple explanation for that. I lied.
Oh,
But if
yeah.
you want to know the truth before you die,
Okay.
here it is. Once I'm done with you and Quintius, I intend to kill every last one of you wretched degenerates.
Well, that helps to
And I
know.
can think of nothing I'd enjoy more.
Okay.
Son of this.
Oh. Look, all the statues have eyes. Alright, we get out of here. Follow the magistrate? Okay. Wow, look, the statue's eyes are glowing. They're firing arrows. Alright, where does the magistrate live? Try to guide me. It's up here, right? Watch out, guys. Where is the magistrate? Is he up here? Uh-oh. Magistrate, where are you? I'm here. Well, that's not good. Oh, it's... He's over there. Alright, we're going... Oh, gosh. We're gonna take some damage. Alright, excuse me. I see now. Alright, serpentine, serpentine. Gosh, I don't know what our end goal here is. We have to make it back to the shrine, I guess. Ooh. Here we go. Sentius. He's turned to... Do we just go back in here and restart this? Oh. And there's our first time jump. We're going back to the beginning of the day. So, first things first, we have to let him know that there's an assassin. Yeah, we're at the beginning of the day now. Hi there.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine
gosh.
of the Serpina?
Yeah, this is the second time I've met you.
I don't think so. I've never seen you before.
This is going to be hard to explain. Your name is Galerius, and you're about to offer to take me to Sentius. This we know.
Oh, I guess how much did I drink last night? Sorry to have bothered you.
No worries.
Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry, you should try out this device I made. Worked real hard on it.
Is it the zipline? It is the zipline. Hey. Yep, we'll take it.
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake and hang on to the handles. If it works, it'll be faster than walking.
Yeah, I agree.
And if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake.
That's true.
I haven't quite quite summoned the courage to test it myself. But don't worry, it's completely safe. Probably.
Alright.
Alright, see you around.
Okay, well. So how do we do this? Attach it to the rope over the lake. Zipline, ride. Oh, cool. That is a lot faster. Okay, well, what do we do now? I think we should go tell Sentius about the assassin. The priestess? Where's the priestess live? Hang on. Does it say in here where the priestess is? The Shrine of Apollo. No. No. Pandora's box. Perhaps the priestess might be able to help her. Yeah, where's that? Is there a map on here? I thought it would say where... I thought it would say that where it would be if we clicked on the eye. Alright, well, hang on one second. We're gonna go up and talk to...
Your best behavior, I trust?
Yep, obviously. Let's go talk to Sentius real quick. Hello, sir.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name?
Yep.
We have? Wait, if I understand correctly, someone is about to break the golden rule, forcing me to create a portal in time to bring you here?
Yes, that's correct.
I must have entrusted you with figuring out who the culprit is. Only, I assume we failed, and you have to start over.
Right. I feel like this is going to be happening a lot.
Right? If so, what happened?
Well, I couldn't stop it from being broken by an assassin.
Look, it's unfortunate, but all that matters now is that you make use of what you've learned and gathered, and do better next time.
Yeah, but can you, like, help?
I assume you sought me out again for a reason.
Yes. I'd like you to release Dooley. What do you think about the Golden Rule? Well, there's this one.
Of course. What is it?
I think I know who it is.
Yes?
It's the assassin who arrived in the city this morning. He lied.
What? An assassin? What are you talking about?
Apparently he was sent by Nero to assassinate someone in the city named Quinctius.
Then what are you doing here talking to me? Why aren't you out there trying to stop him? You'd best go.
Well,
quickly.
I mean,
As Magistrate, I hereby declare him an enemy of Rome and authorize his execution by your hand forthwith.
And I have no weapons.
Any way you can. Despite my weapons ban, it's been my experience one can always find a weapon.
Oh, thanks.
If one looks hard enough.
That's helpful. Is you declaring him an enemy of Rome make it okay?
I don't believe so, no. It's not a crime to carry out the lawful order of a magistrate.
Yeah, what about a fair trial?
So now you're an expert on Roman law, are you? Listen to me.
Kind of.
We are cut off from the Empire down here, fending for ourselves on the brink of annihilation. If ever there was a time to dispense with legal procedure, it would be now. Think of it as an act of preemptive self-defense. Think of the lives you'll be saving.
I guess so. Alright, I'll take care of it.
Please act quickly before it's too late.
Alright, well, where exactly would we find him? I really like the Groundhog Day aspect of this. And also that they give you a way to sort of quickly talk to people without repeating yourself. Now, is the priestess in here? I would like to visit her, if she is.
A new face.
Ah, bingo.
And may watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Well, let's just have her run down her background.
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from.
Yeah, you could say so.
It's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Yeah, fair enough. Tell me what to do.
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that
seems like a lot of work.
So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like.
Thank you.
It'll be a refreshing change.
Let's do it. Vestal priestess. So that's like a Vestal virgin. They have to tend to the sacred fire. It's kind of a symbol of like security and the sanctity of the hearth and the family, and they have to make sure that the fire doesn't go out.
You really don't know? You are from far away, aren't you? Well, I am one of the priestesses charged with keeping the sacred flame in Rome's shrine of Vesta burning. I take it you know who Vesta is?
Yeah, she's the goddess of the hearth, but let's hear her spiel.
Vesta is the mother goddess of hearth and home, and the guardian of the Roman people.
Okay. And you fell in the river, don't tell me.
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
A young woman named Karen, that's right, I forgot that we met Karen, dragged me out of a river unconscious and sent me in here.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
She did kind of seem like a Kamen. It carries negative connotations where I'm from, yeah.
Why is that?
Sorry. Because of the memes.
The memes? What are the memes?
A meme is a small image you share with other people. They've become a bit like their own language.
So, a bit like Egyptian hieroglyphs, then?
Yeah, sure, I guess.
So your people make hieroglyphics depicting this accursed character, the one they call Karen. I wonder
Yeah.
if... No.
Wait, what?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic.
Don't tell me Karen's the key to all this.
You've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too?
Yeah, it's
I really think you should.
all through the river.
Go around and ask them what they remember, and see if you notice any patterns.
I mean, I do. Yeah, what aren't you telling me?
I know. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
She's kind of like the crazy old woman.
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern.
Yeah, she said that to us too.
It could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Well, yeah, there is a pattern.
You have? Then what is it?
Nice. Ask residents about their stories to identify at least 3 common threads. Yeah, the river.
Yes. I understand many of our friends were carried here by a river current. What else?
That's it for now.
There are definitely some common threads there. but I think we'll need at least a few to ensure we're not just seeing coincidences.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to talk to more people.
Asking people how they wound up here. I don't want us to rush to any conclusions yet.
I agree.
Livia's fate weighs heavily on my mind, and dictates we should be sure. Yes, you should ask the others first.
Great. I don't assume that you've... Well, I've been asking people how they wound up here. Oh, but we don't have anything to add to it for now.
I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We asked for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
I would love to hear it.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic. Realizing only a select few possess such powers, says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests. But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Or perhaps that it's that the gods might kill you at any moment for failing their test and they don't even have to tell you what the rules are. Yeah, that's true.
A cynic philosopher might take that view, but it's not entirely invalid, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, who are you voting for?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Well, I think Galerius would be... Yeah, can I nominate another candidate?
You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Yeah, in that case, I'd like to nominate him.
I like the idea, but I know Galerius well, and his position has always been that he won't run unless Malleolus withdraws. It was only yesterday that he said to me he'd only ever run if it was absolutely necessary to make sure Sentius wasn't re-elected.
Interesting.
So, I suppose if you'd like to see Galerius elected magistrate, you'd need to persuade Malleolus to withdraw somehow.
Yeah, we could do that. I'm assuming Roman citizens are allowed to vote?
All of the male citizens
Male
who are
citizens.
willing and able to attend.
Yeah.
Unless they're running, of course.
Okay, yeah, women can't?
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me, either. There are some women who can vote. Vestal priestesses like myself. But in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent. But if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Like?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Of course. Let's ask if we're allowed to
All of
vote.
the male citizens who...
What about me?
Well, you're not a citizen yet.
Oh.
So, no, I'm afraid not.
How do you know I'm
If
not a
it's any
citizen?
Consolation, there are...
Okay. And you just keep things fair?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Can we start the election now? No, let's not do that until Galerius is nominated.
Certainly.
Alright.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Yeah. Alright, let's quick save. Why don't we check and see what's upstairs? Just so we have a better idea for the future. So clearly we're on some sort of timer because the assassin is going to come and ruin everything if we don't do something. I wonder if the Centurion Horatius, now that I think about it, he's basically the city's cop, right? In a lot of ways. So maybe we should tell him. Alright, anything new in here? Looks like this is all kind of standard stuff we've seen before. I only want to spend time on it if there's something new. Note to Octavia. An anonymous friend to Octavia. May the Lord bless and keep you. I am sorry I could not risk discussing this with you in person, but if I am right, then you're a believer like me. You may not be able to worship openly here, but know that you're not alone. If you ever feel like you need somewhere to pray, there's a special place waiting for you deep in the caves behind the theater. Turn right at the first fork, then again at the second. Huh. Is that it? Yeah. Interesting. What are they worshipping? Are they maybe like secret Christians? Or some other religion? What kind of documents do we have in here? Right. I keep doing that. Nothing I can read there. Ink jar. Okay, I think we've looked at everything in here. What's further in here? Oh, it's just the other side. This is where we came from. Let's talk to Horatius real quick and see if we could talk to him about the assassin.
What is it, citizen?
Oh, never mind. He doesn't care.
All right.
Well, why don't we go straight to the baths then? If we can.
Ove.
Hello. This is where the baths were, right? Pretty sure. We talked to Rufius before. It's funny that we're getting an idea of what everybody's movements are. Like, we know that Rufius and Horatius and so on, they're going to go to the tavern later in the evening. And so on. So it's good to talk to people to see where they come from. Peccator, that means sinner, right? Yeah. There's Virgil, who had the suspicious notes.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil.
And what is your name?
Well, I'm an architect. Or at least I was back in Rome. That's probably too grandiose a term to describe what I do here. Help out with repairs and try to stop old buildings from collapsing on people, that kind of thing. But you probably don't want to hear about the ingenious architecture or mysterious history of this place.
I mean, I sure do. The city's history.
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed hundreds of years ago, which means Romans have been arriving here for at least that long. But there's one thing that puzzles me. The oldest shrine in this avenue isn't Roman at all. It's Greek.
Interesting. Isn't it common for Romans to copy Greek art and architecture? Yeah.
Well, yes, that could be the reason. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping here before the Romans arrived. Which begs the interesting question,
when and why?
who really built this place? And could it be far older than any of us imagine?
True.
If only there was a way we could talk to the people who came here before us. The stories they could tell.
So, there's some things that are running through my head. So first of all, like the legend that Aqueducts told us about the gods being in disguise. Is it crazy or stupid to think that maybe some of the people walking among us here, like the citizens, could be gods in disguise? Like, I know that whatever the chief god is, who's running this place, is seeing through the eyes of the statues, but I don't know, maybe not everybody here is human. Okay, what about the architecture?
Gladly. Personally, my favorite thing about this place is the aqueducts. Those series of adjoining arches. They're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. They take fresh water coming from outside the city and distribute it all across the chasm. It's funneled below the palace and into a cistern beneath the great temple. Some of it flows down into another cistern beneath the villas. And the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake, and allows us to fish and farm.
I wonder, yeah, if they bring water into the city, could we use them to escape? I was gonna say.
Hey, not so loud. Just talking about that could anger the gods for all we know. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. And then the temple up on the bluff.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery. Given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us, it's clear that whoever built it felt it was the most important temple in the city. Unfortunately, someone else went out of their way to keep its purpose a mystery. You see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god, like Proserpina or Diana or Apollo. Usually, that god is obvious. But in this case, it's unknown. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. But it appears some barbarian defaced it. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains the treasury. So we're all left wondering, which god is that temple dedicated to? And could it be the one responsible for the Golden Rule? Unless somebody figures out a way inside, I suppose we'll never know.
Believe me, it's on our list.
Of course. You wouldn't believe how often the new ones ask that question. But I'd tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. There are much worse places to live out your days. You might have a few sleepless nights thinking about the Golden Rule, but once you get used to the fear, knowing that a single slip-up could cost you everything, it's not too bad. Nothing new to me, anyway.
Meaning what?
Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novio Magus, and learned to expect a bit of hostility. They weren't nearly as tolerant as the Romans.
Yeah, he sounds like he's from one of the maybe Germanic tribes that Rome was always kind of at odds with.
Some people say it's divine, the work of a god, but I'm not so sure. It just seems so flawed to me. Like it's distinctly human.
That's an interesting thought.
Once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things that just seem so wrong to you. But this so-called god doesn't seem to care. Which means one of two things. Either you don't know the difference between right and wrong, or this unknown god doesn't. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Do you?
I'd like to think so.
Good. Then I hope you'll agree that there are only two ways of dealing with unfair rulers.
Oh, careful.
The first is to leave. The second is to remove the ruler from power. And it seems leaving may not be an option.
Yeah, that's dangerous to say, but how would you even remove them from power?
Question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
I've noticed the graffiti and I noticed the notes on your desk.
Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody just has a problem with my preference for male company.
I see. Yeah?
Hey, nothing gets by you, huh? Sorry, that was mean. Yes, I like men. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city of Noviomagos, you expect a bit of hostility.
Yeah, we heard this before.
But I saw enough friends killed or driven away to know the cost of not keeping your personal affairs to yourself. So I hid who I was for, what was it, nearly 10 years? Watching what I said and where I looked. But that kind of fear eats away at you slowly, until living isn't any better than the thing you were afraid of. Needless to say, since I'm now living underground, halfway across the known world, with an assumed name, my openness didn't go down well among the enlightened folk of the Batavi.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Nice of you to say, but not necessary. In any case, the Romans are far more accepting, and among them, I get to be who I am. Or at least, I thought that was the case. It seems I was wrong.
Yeah, there's somebody who has it out for you.
It's not just graffiti. I have quite a collection of handwritten notes too. The strange thing is, I keep my personal affairs to myself. I've never really been interested in any of the men here. Not my type. So I'm not sure what I could have done to upset this person.
Yeah, that's interesting.
To guess, I'd say it's probably one of those cultists.
Wait, cultists?
Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that he considers my nature as sin.
I see.
Can you believe that? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they supposedly burnt down half of Rome last year and went into hiding. All I know is, if these threats keep escalating, eventually my secret admirer is going to cross a line and break the golden rule.
Well, yeah, let's add it to our list of things to investigate.
What? Really? I didn't expect that. But thanks. It's always a pleasure to meet someone so selfless. I'm glad you arrived when you did. I'd start by figuring out who the cultists are. Or maybe ask around among the merchants here. Someone who lives or works in the forum must have seen something. But if you find them, please don't hurt or humiliate them. I suspect they're just confused.
Yeah, we'll handle it with kid gloves. All right. What about the election?
Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of the restrictions in this place. And while it's all a bit vague, at least he has a vision.
Okay.
My vote isn't for sale, if that's what you're asking.
No, that's not really what I was asking.
Nice to talk to you.
Okay, I think this is a good spot to take a break. I know it's been going on for a little bit, but it's really interesting. The plot is thickening as to who is hiding what, who's at odds with whom, and we're definitely on a timer because it's going to get into evening, and then the person from the baths is going to do something not so good. So we're going to go check out the baths next, see if the assassin is in there, or what exactly is going on. And yeah, I mean, it's funny how this game feels so peaceful. Like, there's of course always the undercurrent, the urgency of figuring everything out, but it's also kind of relaxing in a lot of ways. Just the architecture and the music is just beautiful. I hope you're enjoying it as well, and I hope you'll join me for the next iteration of the Forgotten City next time. See you then.